February 13th, 2019, a year ago tomorrow, a young man was driving down the road. He had a bright future ahead of him. It was in the early morning, and while he was driving, he got into an accident. He was rushed to the hospital, and after hours of praying, and after hours of the doctors trying to figure out something, anything they could do, they realized they could not save him. At 7:25 p.m., he passed away. He and his family had grown up as members of the church. They knew that it is appointed unto man once to die, and after that, the judgment, Hebrews 9:27. They knew that our life is but a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away, James 4:24. But even though they knew these things, it still became even more real to them when they are face to face with it. We know that when we die, we'll go to one of two places. We see that in Luke 16. Luke 16 will begin in verse 19. There was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate, full of sores, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in Hades he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivedst thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. We need to prepare for where we will go when we die. We never know when our last day will be, but there's also another side to this. February 1st, 2019, I checked my phone and I had received a text from one of my lifelong best friends, Seth Beck. It was a happy belated birthday message, and I hadn't heard or seen him in a while. And so we started to catch up. I told myself that I was going to start talking to him more. I told myself that I was going to start being a better friend, and that I was going to start working on rebuilding our friendship. I talked to others about this, and I had every intention to do so. Fast forward to February 13th, 2019. Seth was driving down the road. It was early in the morning, and while he was driving, he got into an accident. He was rushed to the hospital, and after hours of praying and after hours of the doctors trying anything they can do to save him, they realized there was nothing they could do. At 7:25 p.m., Seth passed away. I never did talk to him after that day that we texted. I never did do any of the things that I intended to do. And while that is one of the things I regret most in my life, it taught me something that I want each of us to consider this evening. As I said, we don't know how long we have left to live, but we also don't know how long others have to live. We need to make sure that we are saved. We also need to make sure that we are doing everything we can to save those around us. If you are not a Christian this evening, from the bottom of my heart, I ask that you seriously consider becoming one. You can do that by believing that Jesus is the Christ, John 8:24, repenting of your sins, Acts 17:30, confessing that belief as the Ethiopian eunuch did in Acts 8, and being baptized, immersed in water, For the remission of your sins, Acts 2:38, to be added into the one true church, Acts 2:47, and to put on Christ, Galatians 3:27. Or if you already are a Christian or have become a Christian and you aren't living the way that you should, I ask you from the bottom of my heart to please seriously consider the consequences of remaining in the state that you are in. If you have any need tonight, please do not hesitate, because you never know when your last opportunity will be. If we can help you in any way, please let it be known, and please come forward as we stand and as we sing.